Day one of the engine build. I'm here first because it's my unit. And I've thought of a new nickname for Daniel. Daniel Half a Cup. That's his as well. And it won't be drunk. Welcome back to Tools and Track. Are you as sick about hearing about this engine build as I am? Yes.
No.
Yeah.
Not
probably.
as sick as me.
No, he's not as sick as him because he's so done with this. But if you are, then that's fine because today we finally build this engine. Point of authority, that's not the block we were working
It's
on.
not the same block, no. So that block, which was machined,
Yeah.
and then I measured it, it was too big.
Yeah. Slightly
So-
oversized machining. So
Yes, so that's great. It's great when, when folk machine things to the wrong sizes. So anyway, so luckily we had a spare.
yeah.
So
And the spare's cleaner, so
spare is cleaner, to be fair. So we got Endurance Engines to do this.
in Hellington.
Mikhail is the guy. So he done this, decked the block, decked the head. The pistons are over there. So he matched all these, got them to exactly 0.04 of an inch, which is what we want. Good to go. So then,
Ow.
next step,
Next step. So
here.
what's next?
ring gaps.
Because we have, in fairness, measured the crank and
Oh,
we
yes,
are
we should.
within spec as well.
Yeah, so we done the crank yesterday. We done it last night, didn't we?
Yeah.
Measured the crank and then
That's brilliant.
measured the main bearing tunnels of the bearings in, everything torqued up with the studs because we were a bit concerned that ARP studs get torqued quite a bit higher than the factory ones.
Worryingly high when you're torquing them.
There's always the risk that you can distort, obviously, the line bore. So
So we're okay there. Which
they've
is
been measured, they're the spec, that's absolutely fine.
This also needs pointing out. This is the best thing I think has ever been made in this unit, isn't it? I mean, look at that. You can't mount the fucking thing in a vise because of the handle.
Yeah.
So, look.
They design these to obviously bolt to your table, but the problem then is it's like you bolt to your table, it's like the handles are not, it's not great. So
Vice mount.
we should probably explain what that is.
Yeah.
That's a piston ring filer.
I think I have explained it in the Super
Yeah,
Bowl,
right,
but
okay,
let's do it.
right.
Let's do it again
Okay.
because people just didn't watch that for some reason.
You put the ring in,
They won't watch this either.
you file, and then you measure. They recommend you measure an inch from the top of the bore.
Yes.
So what we do is grab a ring, which these are actually marked. So that wee dot there, that goes to the top. So you'll find, can you see it? Probably not.
Probably not.
There's a dot there. Yes, so we'll obviously make sure that it goes in that way. And what you do is you basically put the ring in the bore, use the piston, push it down until it's an inch down, and then with feeler
Feeler
gauges, you then go in and you measure what the gap is.
Did we build an engine yet?
Many hours later, these are now all filed.
By many hours, like this has legitimately been 4 hours of your life.
I'm never getting back.
Yeah. So, but it's one of these things that if you're going to do it, you got to do it right.
They're all bang on spec, mixed and matched all the oil rings to get them balanced.
Yeah.
And then just deburr. Yeah, that's something to remember. See if you're going to file rings, make sure you deburr them. So see, this little guy here will do a great job at getting the clearance right.
Yeah, but what you're still going to be left with is two sharp edges.
Yes, so you need to get a wee hand file and just basically go on the edges and just give it a wee dress down. A lot of people forget that.
A chamfer.
Yes, a lot of people forget that, and then within minutes of starting the brand new engine, they just put big scores up and down it. So remember and do that. Bearings, we managed to actually get
The correct ones.
Yes, we managed to order. I ordered bearings first thing this morning as soon as the place opened, and they shipped them like before lunch. So according to the Royal Mail, they should be here tomorrow.
This will make no difference to you watching because this is all seamless, but for us, this is a big difference because
Yes.
we've actually took time off work to do this.
Yeah.
Like nobody, like myself and Daniel are engineers, so in the engineering trade, you don't get bank holidays, so we've took the bank holiday just to get on top of this.
See if you can do it. In
1-1.
Yeah, and like over the space of a couple of days, and just spend a good amount of time on it. It's way better than doing it like a wee hour here, a wee hour there, because it's.
Yeah. We are on Saturday and we have bearings. Bearings.
Yes, we managed to get some bearings quickly, so. But I just love it's like in the instructions, it's like line up the oil hole on the bearing with the oil hole on the con rod, right?
So oil hole in the bearing is where?
There. Okay.
Yes, oil hole, bearing, see it?
Oh wait, no.
Oh.
Pulsar one. Oil hole.
Alright, let's build them and let's measure them. Our establishment is quite close to where old firm stuff happens, as we've probably discussed in numerous episodes. And today is
Some
Celtic
sort of game or something.
Celtic versus Rangers game.
I don't know. What is it?
Old firm.
It's a special one, is it not?
For special people, special needs. We're not football fans in case it's not immediately obvious. They're not even playing there or at the other one. They're playing at the big one at Hampden, but yet I can still hear Simply the Best wafting across the airwaves. Yes. Degrees. You may not like it, but this is what peak performance looks like. Hours of measurement.
Yep.
Have they measured?
Yes, they're fine.
They're fine. So what's
They're
our what is our final clearance? What we at?
Says it
0.05 to 0.05.
minus the 0.1.
Yeah. So
0.01, sorry. So it's 0.045, 0.04, which is
in spec.
That's fine. I would have preferred the 19mm bearings, but
That's clearly not an option.
this is what the S13s, 14s, 15s run. It's absolutely fine. It works. So all gapped, they're all in spec, and they're all separated. 1, 2, 3, 4. Assembly. So step one.
Step one.
We have a block
Yes.
ready.
Look
That's
at it. Look at it. It's
ready
so
for
clean
parts.
and shiny.
So first step is really to make sure that you've got everything assembled to go in. So we've got connector rods, which again, they're all measured, they're fine. We've got pistons, which again, they're all measured, they're fine. But when you put them together,
So what's first?
pistons, corners together.
Right, spiral locks. Spiral.
So there's a guy on the GE Pistons YouTube And he just goes like this. Yeah, you just pop it in, you stretch it out, then you pop it in and you go like this. Done.
Yeah. That's not how it works ever.
Never works like that.
Good God. Anyway, so you just do this, you swear a lot, and then it goes in. The end. Day one of building an engine.
Day one.
Step one. It's not day one. We're calling the other days the preparation. So this is the
we're
actual,
all good to go.
The actual build phase. The first thing you need to do is glue it.
Right, aye. Let's discuss this. There was a wee bit of like.
I don't know if it's been cavitation or just like corrosion.
I've got a feeling it's been somebody at some points not used enough antifreeze.
Yeah, possibly. It's just
ate
eating the
away at
block,
it.
because these are aluminium blocks. So what we've done, I know this is like looks a bit podunk, but the thing you need to remember here is the actual sealing face is this.
If it is cavitation, see as soon as you get a wee bit of like erosion like that,
It's going to get worse.
It'll just get worse and worse and worse.
What this is, naturally,
of course, it's super steel.
is the almighty super steel. We've got more. We've got shares, frankly, the amount of super steel we use. Cranks about to go in.
We'll give it a wee clean before it goes in, but
obviously, because everything needs a clean.
Yep.
4 hours of cleaning yesterday.
Yes.
And they still not got to the crank.
So.
Note the cleaning of the tops to get the fingertip dirt.
Coated bearings.
Yeah.
So when you actually slide them in, it's unavoidable. You'll have to push them down. And what happens is that sharp edge on each side will actually scrape a tiny bit of the coating off.
Nice. The greased, shiny loveliness with ARP nuts and studs.
I really don't like these studs.
No, well, they'll do, I guess, in the absence of literally anything
I
else.
literally wish I could still just get the factory
Yeah.
ones, but you can't. So
It's not an option anymore. So this is a 3-stage torque sequence. So we're going to start with 30 foot-pounds, and then 60, and then the final's 80. Is that, if I said foot-pound, it's Newton metre?
no, it's
Foot-pound?
Yeah.
I got that right, that's the first. So we're just getting them ready
just
to
nip them
drop.
up. So yes.
This is like the 5th time we've done this, and if you look really closely, you'll notice that the ARPs have not been included this time. We went back to the standard ones from the Nissan factory catalogue, and you'll note that I'm actually moving the crank as we go, because every time we use the ARPs, the crank binds.
The crank up.
The other point to note, the ARPs go to 80 foot-pound, the Nissan goes to 61. Right.
But it was locking up at 60 anyway.
It's locking up at
with
60
the
anyway.
ARPs.
Yeah, it's just the ARPs are not playing the bloody game. Anyone out there who wants to jump to the defence of the ARPs at 60 foot-pound lockness, when putting the Nissan ones in, does not lock it, we are all ears, because we have followed the procedure, and that works. Your block is f***ed.
So we've tested, we put the crank in, torqued up the spec, absolutely fine, rotates, but we were a bit like, well, we don't know if it's close to bind or not, so we'll just check it again. So we took the crank out, put the bearings back in, caps on, torqued it up. That's the numbers.
So we are pretty much where we were before with numbers. They're well within spec. So
yeah, they're very, very slightly larger, but that's expected because the ERP ones go to 80, these go to 60.
yeah. So what we need to do now, we've obviously cleaned everything off because the assembly grease for the ARP stuff is not very great when you're not using it. We're going to clean up the crank, which is now sitting up there, having a good hard think about itself.
And do it again.
And then do it again, but this time it's going to work.
It will work.
Yeah, it will work because we actually put it in and tried it and it worked. So, crank in again, and then
pistons and rods.
Pistons and rods. Up to 60. We've just done a round of 30 foot-pounds, and oh, look, it spins. So let's see if we have the same. Well, I'm still going to, just out of belt and braces, I'm going to just keep giving it a wee check every time we knock one of these up to 60, but something tells me we will not have a problem here. So on a 10 count, 1, service says, fine.
Yeah, it's fine. There isn't any other way to do this.
No, just, it's an interesting hand motion.
You have to oil the bores before you put the pistons in.
Just get the fist right in there.
There you go. Oil. They were very specific.
They were.
Total C were very specific about how they want these mounted.
Well, they probably know, so...
Will oblige.
As you can probably imagine, right, when it comes to piston rings, you need to be making sure there's as little gap route as possible. So the way they're sitting right now, that is the last way you'd want them in. So that's the top ring and that's the middle ring, so to speak. So they basically need to be 180 degrees from each other like that. And then the bottom, the oil scraper ring, that all of this basically is to scavenge oil back into the sump. These have a top and a bottom ring for them as well, and they also need to be pretty spaced out so that you don't get pressure passage.
Yeah.
This isn't even the tool I was meaning, but...
See, the amount of people I see doing this, right, and it's like, put a piston ring on, and I mean, for instance, the top ring is a chrome one, but see the second ring?
Yes.
This is cast.
Yeah.
So the last thing that you want to do is the old, put it round, bend it. You don't want to do that. You want to use this. Did you do that?
What?
You actually done that? So that expands it out without putting any bend in it. So you literally just go over, release. Done.
Yeah, alright. I'm sure that's fine. Our backs are broken. We promised it, it's happened. One built long block, i.e. everything inside this engine is now in place.
Yes.
All we need to do is bolt manifolds onto it and ultimately a Primera. But that wraps up here because that was one epically long montage, so that's not bolted.
It's not attached yet. No.
That's keeping dust out and nothing more. So until next weekend, patreon.com/toolsandtrack. Go do the thing, be awesome. Like, bell, subscribe if you can't be arsed with that. And drive safe, I guess.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye-bye.